because every time I watch these videos, I'm like, it cuts off the first little bit. So I thought I'd pause even longer. Hi, I'm Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. I am the keeper for the game that we're going to be playing this morning. It's going to be a short and sweet one because I had to cut it off early. Family has to go pick up a puppy from a rescue shelter. We're very excited, but I didn't want to let this go because first of all, I wanted to. Second of all, Sabine won't be with us for the third and fourth sessions. So here we are. We are playing Monster of the Week, but it's part of Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is a series that I've been running since December of 2017, where every month I choose a different RPG and shove it into Star Wars. And this is during the Return of the Jedi timeline. It's pretty late in the timeline. And this is Monster of the Week, but reskinned as Bounty of the Week. We have two hunters. John was unable to join us. He had to take care of local convention gaming stuff this morning. So we are without our wonderful Crooked Jawa, but that's okay. I'm sure that Squaws will be back in third session. So let's do a quick reminder of who is playing after I remind you guys that we do have safety tools at our disposal. We use the X card here as a default. So anything that happens that causes you to feel uncomfortable or unsafe, please just make an X, or you can use the roll for your party link to X card something. We'll stop the game. I'll ask politely what's going on, just so I know what is being X-carded, not to talk you out of it, and then we will excise that from our play, find a way around it. It will not be a blockade or a hurdle, and we'll continue rolling. I think of this game as generally a PG-13 style game. It would exist within the Star Wars universe, but definitely not on Disney Plus. Probably like a Netflix series that somehow they still have. I don't know, but that's kind of my thought process for Bounty of the Week. So Sabine, good afternoon. If you could introduce yourself and your character, I would appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing CG5713, a clone who's known by the name of Quake, usually. He's pretty old because we are closer to the second Death Star thing than the Clone Wars. He's been through a lot. He's been through Order 66 and killed his Jedi, and then he left the whole clone troops to rip the chip out of his head, and then he was a bounty hunter or a mercenary for a while, hooked up with the Jedi then, and learned that maybe peace isn't the worst option ever, and now he's back to being a bounty hunter. But right now this is more of a rescue mission and of a go and kill this person mission, so that's fine.
Thank you very much, Sabine. And Rob, good afternoon to you as well. Please introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Rob. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Johanna Muldor, who is a former ISB agent, who was drummed out of the force because she failed to capture some rebels, possibly intentionally on her part. Nobody's quite sure why that happened. And she's just taken her talents that she learned from her time with the Security Bureau and applied them to bounty hunting instead.
Seems just map those over. It's no problem. I'm sure the Empire's perfectly fine with you working with a legitimate organization fronting down bounties. All right. In last session, you guys had been hired by an ombudsman from the Trade Federation, which of course Quake knows about the Trade Federation well, but they are a legitimate organization, not fomenting any kind of rebellion against the Republic anymore. They're just a federation that does taxes and works in coordination with the Empire. This ombudsman, his daughter had been kidnapped, and his daughter's name was Karna, or is, sorry, shouldn't use the past tense pronouns because she's alive. Human daughter of your employer, Karna Freely. She had been kidnapped, but luckily, Mr. Freely had implanted microchip in her when she was born, just in case of such an eventuality. So, yeah, that's not creepy, but hey, it works out for you guys. And yeah, don't ask, don't tell, I guess, or something like that. You took off for, you had received, and by you, we're going to go ahead and blame it on Squaz. Squaz had received some information from a Corellian information broker named Sealth that Dodds, a mining planet, was where she was being kept. You guys went there. Turned out that was a trap. You did not have Akbar to tell you ahead of time, so you were trapped, but you fought your way out. Fought a bunch of Echani mercenaries, as well as another clone, a clone by the name of Fer. And you guys captured, well, you were kind of captured, but then you captured them. It was great. It was topsy. It was turvy. It probably wasn't a Monster of the Week game, but hot damn, it was fun. You guys freed yourself. And after some research, Johanna, after after trying to convince a particular Trandoshan named Pandit Morg that everything was okay, Pandit Morg revealed that he had some kind of force powers and saw through Quake's attempt to pretend that he was Fer and cut off communications. But Johanna, with her ISB skills, did some research from her dark past and found that there is a nearby Imperial listening station. That Imperial listening station is known as the Aurora Furiosa System Hyperspace Beacon Link Station, Outer System Operations Platform 773, and that if you were able to either figure something out there, you should be able to track back where Pandit Morg is. So as we begin, I'm going to do a quick screen share so you guys know where to look, and also so people who are just watching get to see the cool, pretty thing. And so the cool, pretty thing is, whoa, that is flashy. Okay, there we go. This is the map. It is currently on the NPCs and Places tab. I don't know why everything's flashing, but I'll stop sharing in just a minute because that's making my head hurt. So we see here, this is the schematics that we see on the Viridian Hornet, your ship. As you guys are coming near the Outer System Operations Platform 773, it's a 3-deck mobile platform which has a number of stormtroopers stationed upon it. This is a listening station in this particular stint of the galaxy so that the Empire can keep track of all illicit communications along the hyperspace beacon and holonet. And it's where you guys, if you're able to grab the information, can easily find out where Pandit Morg was communicating to you from. So, I think it would be cool if, for the purposes of time, if you hop to the basic moves tab and go all the way down to row 159. I have stolen one of my favorite moves from Zombie World called Make a Plan. It is a beautiful piece of technology that allows us to jump into the middle of something going on. When you make a plan, use the stat of the person who proposed the plan. And then there are a few questions about what the plan is about in generalities. Then you make a roll. Well, there's some pluses you can get based on the plan parameters. On a hit, you'll arrive in the middle of your plan in decent shape. On a 7 to 9, some part of your plan encounters unexpected difficulties or your party splinters, your choice. And on a miss, you find yourselves in over your head or under fire as your plan falls apart. Isn't it lovely, friends, how we can abstract out what is most of a Shadowrun session with one roll? I love it. So what's your plan to try to get this information? And if you don't want to hit this move because you've got some other way that you think is cool, or if you have a playbook specific move you want to engage, that's totally cool. But I just wanted to offer that option because I like it.
So I believe that we ended the last session with Joanna saying, I have an idea. So it's probably Joanna's plan.
Yep.
I think she would go for like an infiltration, like using her knowledge of Imperial procedure and security protocols to try and basically get them in under the radar, so to speak. Like maybe we dress as stormtroopers. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I love the idea of our clone trooper having to dress as a stormtrooper.
There will be a bit of crumbling if he has to dress as a stormtrooper because their uniforms are stupid. Look at this plastic stuff. You can break it with your fist. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. We have enough of these uniforms, right? Good.
I've never seen a stormtrooper armor actually stop a blaster bolt. So
they don't. They don't. The one thing they stop is if you go into a smoky. I think they filter out some stuff in the air. I have never figured out what really.
They also have a reputation for being really precise shots, but I've never seen that either.
I think it's propaganda. It's.
This is the best. Okay, so you're going to be using stealthy and smart, right? So it sounds like you're angling for sharp.
Yep.
All right, so we take +1 if the plan is supported by plenty of resources and people. I don't think so. It's just the two of you guys. If you're basing the plan on accurate current information, I'm going to say that because you did your dark past and you're an ISB, I'm leaning towards a yes. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay. You sure? Because you don't feel like Johanna would have.
I don't think she would have the current codes or anything, but they won't have changed their procedures and
Right. Okay. Now there's a -1 if there's significant opposition with the interfere with the plan. There are like 2 squads of stormtroopers, so I do think there are a lot of eyes that might see past that. So that cancels out your +1 from accurate current information. And then it does not appear you have any significant dissent about the plan to follow, right? You guys are on the same page.
No, I'm just grumbling. I'm not actually complaining or anything.
Cool. And we'll say that Squaws is here, but sent off in another part of the operation. Perhaps Squaws is like a vac suit.
Maybe Squaws can just watch our prisoners because we have the 4 of these on the ship, and Squaws is the pilot, and it might be a good idea to have him on the ship. So if we have to get out, then we can call for a pilot, and then he can come and get us out.
I love it. Okay, so there's our excuse for Squaws not being actively played. Love it. So just in general for Johanna, is the idea that you guys are going to be docking with the station and appearing to be Imperials that are coming on board for a thing? Is that the introduction, just so I have a visual of what the opening shot is?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So let's give that roll. I'm gonna share screen so we can see it.
Okay. Peps.
Okay.
We can use luck, right? Just saying.
Yeah. How much did I used a couple last session. I only used one. Okay. So I'll take one.
Okay. So you're going to use luck?
Yeah.
Okay. On a hit, you arrive in the middle of your plan in decent shape. So we see a montage. I want each of you guys to add a few details as I'm going to go back to the map because, I pay for this map, and even if it's a little blinky, I think it's pretty. So there. So you guys come to main airlock A, the Viridian. You guys were able to give enough codes to where they're like, oh, yeah, sure. And then here in the airlock, you're met by 4 stormtroopers. And so, Johanna, are you dressed as a stormtrooper or are you dressed as an Imperial?
it'll be easier for both of us if we're wearing stormtrooper armor. So I'd probably be a stormtrooper. Probably have a stormtrooper armor with the patch on it.
Okay.
Like the orange patch to give me a rank.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But other than that, yeah, we're both in stormtrooper armor.
Nice. And so you guys are led through, and then this particular hallway, of course, runs across. You guys need to get access to the main hypercaster unit here on deck 2, where engineering and life support and the reactor, all of those pieces can be accessed here. But this is the main area where the actual devices are for hypercasting. Of course, communications and space traffic control are here. So actually you could potentially get your information from either piece, but it's much higher security here. So where, I'm going to ask Johanna, where is it that you tell these stormtroopers you guys need to go?
Yeah, engineering, I think, is on that level.
Okay,
so
cool. So based on the move, you guys take from maintenance airlock A, you guys are able to take down the lift, and then you come down here, and of course we have, it's Return of the Jedi timeline, right? So you have all the kind of 80s sci-fi look with the big buttons and the clean white walls. But when you come into engineering, you see that there are a few techs here. There are no stormtroopers or engineers, right? If you're an engineer, you don't walk around in armor with a big blaster rifle. But you guys make it into engineering, and you see that there are 3 techs here, all human because Empire. 1 female, 2 males. The female appears to be in charge, and she sees the 2 of you come in, and she's got that kind of, the cool little boat hat style there. Not the big giganto like bowl hat, but the boat hat style that the Imperials often wear. And she stands up and kind of slides her hands behind her back and says, "Hello, I was unaware that there were any security issues on the engineering deck."
We have a potential. We have a potential reactor problem, some sort of device. I think you should leave. We'll take care of this.
I'm sorry. What's your designation? She looks over to her 2 compatriots.
I'm going to run off a designation for them.
All right. Let's see if you can manipulate this this lieutenant. And we'll say that you can read that her name is Lintry. And I'll drop that in chat so you have it to reference.
Okay. Charm. Be more charming, please.
She's a corporal.
That's a 10.
There we go. Much better. Much better. Cool. So on a 10, on a normal person, they'll do it for the reason you gave them. Now, if you ask too much, they'll tell you a minimum what it would take for them to do it. She pauses for a second, looks at the 2 of you. She notices like the size difference. She doesn't say, "Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?" But compared to Quake, you are pretty short. And then she says, "Let's take a break," to her compatriots, and they get up and will evacuate the area. I'm going to report this to the lieutenant that we're taking a break. Good luck, sirs.
When they're gone, I'm going to turn to Johanna and say, "You sure know a lot about Imperial procedures."
Well, yes. I wasn't always a bounty hunter. Can we get on with the job at hand, please?
Yeah, of course. Of course. We'll talk later. Hopefully.
I like that. So, you guys need to investigate a mystery here. There are a few options within the investigate a mystery. The other thing you could potentially do is use technology. If you wanted to use tech, you could use that to observe another place or time. So you tell me which of those two moves you'd like to engage.
I don't think either of us are particularly techy.
No, that's true.
No, not that much. But I could use tech because I feel that in the fiction we will have to use tech to get the.
Yeah.
Because that's why we're here, to use tech.
All right, go ahead.
I'll go use tech and you can investigate. Does that sound?
Yeah, that works.
Cool. Okay. I'll roll something. I need an XP.
Yes. Roll badly.
Let's see. I'm not that well, but I've got an 8.
Okay, on an 8, works imperfectly. Choose your effect and a glitch. The keeper will decide what the glitch effect the glitch has.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't want the immediate and unwelcome attention. I think, I think the effect is weakened. I guess that's
okay. That seems fair.
The best thing.
Cool. So you sit down at the controls. Not much has changed since your day. A few refinements and improvements, but also some other protocols that are a little annoying. And you are able to find that the original transmission, the origination was on a ship that was docked and is basically pinging off of the main comm relay from a place in the DMAR system. The DMAR system has quite a bit of mining and is effectively owned by the Lant Mining Corporation. So I will drop that into chat so you don't have to run and write that down. But yeah, the Lant Mining Corporation in the DMAR system. And there's a little bit, you feel like you could have dialed it in, but there were a few other commands that come up that became a little confusing. Evidently, your stuff was in BASIC, and they're in like some kind of basic COBOL hybrid or something. But yeah, so that's the information you were able to ascertain. Johanna, shall we see you investigate a mystery?
Yeah, I rolled a 3. I'd add +2, so that's a 5.
Okay, cool. So, when you spent that luck before, there's this luck move, because when you spend a luck, you'll discover something happening now is related to something you were involved in, maybe directly, maybe someone else is dabbling in the same area. I think that the reason that you left the Imperial Security Bureau might crop up here as part of this miss. Does that seem about fair?
Sure.
Cool. So I was thinking that you maybe left behind a few people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that those people who were left behind probably didn't fare too well. Would you say? Maybe you burned them a little bit?
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a thing that we've just established when Corporal Grochet walks into the room. And do you have your helmet on?
I think wait. I don't think I would have taken it off.
Fair enough.
Unless we were alone.
It's hard if you look at the schematics. Like, it's a pretty open area, kind of engineering area. It's not like they close that off much. So yeah, if you have your stormtrooper helmet on, that's fine. But yeah, so Grochet walks in, and this is a person that you worked with, Johanna. They were actually higher rank before, and they were in Imperial Security Bureau, and now they've been bumped down, and they're out here in the middle of of the outer wilds here in the Outer Rim at a listening station. So they come in, look between the two of you. I've been advised that there is some kind of technical problem with the engineering.
We were told that the conduits were there was maybe trouble, but I can't seem to find it. Seems to be dust up. Just
They frown. Since when have stormtroopers been working in engineering?
Yeah, right. I was wondering that too. That's just weird.
Officer tells you to jump, you jump. Johanna is trying to disguise her accent.
Nice. Over your comms, you hear, guys at Squaws, they're working on trying to lock me out of the system. They're trying to close the airlock. But otherwise everything's fine. This is highly unusual. I need the two of you to come with me.
How many people are there?
It's just right now on this particular part of the engineering area.
Poor girl. I think I need to stun her.
Nice.
Yeah,
why don't you take some shabs?
We have to go, right? I mean, I'm doing that because I have an 8, I think.
All right. On a 7+, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. I think.
I don't want to inflict harm. I just want to stun her. So
okay, cool. Yep. So the amount of harm based on your established dangers in the game. So you inflict stun harm. I think that she was trying to draw a blaster pistol, and just because it's fun, she draws her blaster pistol, fires off, and hits you in the shoulder. So you get 1 armor from your stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
It actually does work. But you are going to take, just double checking here based on gear. It should be 2. Mm-hmm. So it would be 1 harm coming your way. Hardly anything wrong. You laugh that off. You're fine. You're so tough. Oh, wait, you're at 3 harm. All right. So, but then you see the concentric circles kind of come out from your blaster, and you stun her, and she drops to the deck. What do you do?
I turn to Johanna and say, I think we better go.
Yep.
We don't have time for that.
Okay. So we've got everything we need, yeah? So
I have the DMAR system, so yeah.
All right. Let's go then. I will let Quake go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
We have a moment where Johanna, you see the unconscious form of Corporal Groshet, your former compatriot, maybe even an ally. We're not sure, and you're leaving her behind.
Sorry, Grosh.
Nice. Sweet. So you guys head into the lock. What I would like here is for you guys to kind of sneak your way past, posing as stormtroopers. But I would like to, again, our favorite move in this game so far, act under pressure. One of you can lead it. The other can help the other if you want, or you can hang back and try to protect someone if that makes more sense. So who wants to make this cool roll to sneak your way or bluster your way past?
Should I?
I was gonna with the ranking, I'm just gonna try and nothing to worry about. We're just going about our business, and then Quake can cover my ass if things go wrong, which they probably will.
Yeah,
okay,
probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably will, yeah. Awesome. Go ahead and roll plus cool.
I'm going to delete these dice and make new.
They don't love you.
Okay.
That appears to be a fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to protect her, of course.
All right. Cool. So you guys head in, and a couple of the stormtroopers are like, "We've been told about you," and you see that one, the female corporal, Lintry, she's standing right there. She goes, "That's them. Those are fake stormtroopers." And they start firing on you. So go ahead and protect.
Yeah.
You see the airlock doors starting to close as these guys start to fire on you.
Oh my god. I will mumble back. She probably won't hear it, but I still will say, "You're the fakes."
Cool. So go ahead, roll
Yeah.
plus tough to prevent harm.
I've got an 11.
Oh, nice. On a 10 plus. So on a 7 plus, you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. And on 10 plus, you can choose an extra.
I will choose in this instance. I will suffer little harm because suffering a lot of harm doesn't seem very clever. Yeah.
Okay.
Or should I rather hold the enemy back? I don't know what's the situation.
Okay. So the situation is that basically not a full squad. So just so we have a sense of place and the NPCs in places, I will screen share real quick and show you where you guys got to. Luckily, you got to the point where you're right here in the main airlock storage area before they jumped in, and so there are like 4 or 5. Well, I'll be exact. There are 4 stormtroopers who are here, plus the lieutenant, and they are the airlock door. You can see that it's like starting to close and then pushing back up and starting to close and opening back up because Squaz is on the other side trying to play with the airlock controls to keep it open.
So if I hold them back, then we might make it back to our ship.
Yes.
Right? Okay, then I'll do that. Yeah, I will.
Okay. Sweet. So you are able to grab Johanna, hold them back as they fire upon you. You guys you muscle your way through. They move kind of firing on you, unloading from either side, and you are going to take 4 harm after your 1 armor. So that is rough. But you burst to the other side of the airlock doors close, and all of a sudden the Viridian takes off. Your beautiful ship is taking some fire, but Squaz, being an NPC, doesn't fail his roll because NPCs don't roll dice, and you plug in quarters to go to hyperspace just to get the heck out of here.
Am I still alive at 7 harm?
Let's see. So at 7 harm, this is a great question. You are very hurt.
I'm very hurt. I'm unstable, but 8 harm will kill me.
Correct.
But I'm not there yet.
You are not dead yet, but you are hurting bad. So
I'm gonna help him to the med bay on the ship.
Okay. Cool. So unstable wounds require first aid to become stable. While unstable, they may get worse. So you've gotten Quake to the med bay and are able to stabilize him. However, you will need to heal. So at the end of every mystery, you have a chance to heal, but we're not at the end of a mystery, so you're going to need to do something. I think perhaps you should use some technology, maybe to try to heal your compatriot.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna. I wonder if any of my expert moves can help here. No, I don't think so.
Too bad Blaze isn't here. He had the medic move.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That would be a perfect excuse for him to show up, but too bad. We will work something out. It's okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, I was like, maybe Johanna calls up to Blaze, say, Quake is hurt. I need you down here to help out, and he's and they're like, sorry, busy keeping the Imperials off her, so that sort of thing. So I'm having to do it myself. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I remember seeing them use this before. So I pull out like a pad and stuff, and I'm going to use technology.
Okay, cool. So just looking at healing, the way that it works. So if you serious wounds require treatment, that's 4+ harm. Normally unstable, meaning they will worsen if untreated, but you guys have treated it, so it's stable. You're stable at 7 harm. If you take more harm, it's still at 4 harm or more. Your injuries become unstable again. You're not going to take harm while in your little med bay. For serious wounds, first aid heals 1 harm, but it will still be unstable. What counts as treatment depends on the wound. Hunters have healing moves, time in an infirmary in someone's haven, a visit to a doctor or emergency room. So because you do have a little bit of Bacta and a med bay as part of, or did you take that as part of your expert?
No, I didn't take it back to tank.
You did not. Okay. Then what we will be able to do is go ahead and have you use technology to try to heal 1 of that harm. And that is another fail. So you are going to be stabilized at 7 harm. I will offer you this as part of this failed maneuver. If you are willing to give some blood to your ally, then I will allow you to take a harm to heal a harm, up to 3 harm for your compatriot.
Well, I'll take some harm to heal quick. Yeah. If I take 3, that will take me down to 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Johanna's going to go that far, so probably just 2.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you take your harm, and then you get to heal some harm there, Quake, as you transfer some blood from Johanna to Quake. Anything that happens in those moments when you guys kind of, stick the little thing into your vein, thing like a needle into your vein, and we see the red blood come out through the tube into Quake. Quake, you slowly start to waken from all of the pain.
Something's ringing.
Yeah, I think Rob got a call. It's okay.
Okay.
So why don't we go ahead and take our mid-game break here so that Rob can do his phone call. Let's just meet back in about 8 minutes. So at 5 till. Okay?
About Quake's Jedi, I think I might have had a name for her, but I forgot it. Absolutely. You're muted, Rich. I can see that you are talking, but I can't hear.
Was it the Togruta, the female Togruta?
Yes, it was the Cruden. Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I can find. I think it wasn't. Shakti is what I want to say.
Something like maybe. I really forgot. I think maybe I've written it. No, that was last year, right? No.
Yeah, it was. Shakti. Was it?
Okay. Yeah.
Let me see. Was it this person? I'll drop a link to a picture of Shakti.
I don't think did we have a picture for her? I'm not sure we did, but if we do, then it will be this person. Maybe.
Awesome.
Who knows? I mean, I want to look at her. I have to copy this.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that looks fine.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take that one.
Okay.
Also, she probably didn't like dressing up like that. I imagine that she was.
Yeah, I agree.
Hands-on kind of guy.
That was someone else's. Yeah. So there. I agree. So you guys go into light speed, and you take the hyperspace towards the Damar system. Quake. You're hurt. You wake for a bit when Johanna gives you some of her blood, but you're still convalescing or relaxing, healing slowly in the med bay, laying on a gurney.
Yeah.
And
can I have that talk with Johanna? Because
I think the talk with Johanna would be great.
I wanted to speak to her. The first thing I will say is something like pretty groggy, like that much for the theory that clones aren't human, huh? Blood seems to be much the same.
Yeah. Well, of course you're human.
Yeah, you're the one person who believes that. The Emperor doesn't believe that.
Yeah, I've come to realize the Empire doesn't have the best ideas about a lot of things.
You used to work for them?
I did.
Well, good for you to get out.
Well, it was kind of it wasn't entirely my choice.
Okay.
But there came a point where I had to choose between my job and my family, and I chose my family. So
if you ask me, it's probably the right choice. Well, okay. Thank you for this, I guess. These stormtrooper armors, they are just the worst, aren't they?
The armor is a charitable word for it.
It is. I mean, look at my armor. It's ancient and it's got a lot of dings and still better. It's still better than that. That's new. Don't know why they give such crap probably to their soldiers. Probably because it's cheaper.
Yes,
it's the worst. Sorry.
Standards have certainly gone down since your time.
Yeah, well.
But no, don't worry about this. You bleed for me. It's only fair I bleed for you a little.
Yeah, fair enough. I think when this is over, we need to get to the station with the Bacta tank because Quas, he seems a bit wobbly on his feet still.
It's not been a good few days.
Yeah, we haven't had much luck on that station.
So what do you think, how do you think we should deal with this? You're the more military expert of the two of us.
Yeah, my usual approach is go in guns blazing, but I wouldn't suggest that here because we aren't a lot and of people and we're pretty banged up, all of us. So I'd suggest maybe stealth. It seems to be more of your kind of more of your thing.
Yes, that's probably wise. Avoid getting shot at further than we have to. Oh.
You know, I was just about to call you Kevin, but that's your character from the Masks thing.
Yeah, I do think you may have leveled up during all of this.
Yeah, I only failed 3 times.
That's true. Only 3. That's true. Good. So, yeah, you guys have an idea to be stealthy. Squaws sends back some information on the Daymar system. The Daymar system has a number of gas giants in it. It is heavily mined. There are actually, of the 7 planets in the Daymar system, 4 of them have been declared completely barren. They have been stripped. They've been strip mined. Every possible resource has been taken from that particular place by the corporation, the LMC, and the most likely place where the transmission would have taken place is a station that sits above one of the Daymar planets. There is a vast refinery known as the LMC station, where tankers will dive into the planet's atmosphere and scoop up the toxic gases, return that to the station for refining into usable products before it's shipped off to the core worlds. Based on time, I'll just info dump a little bit for you guys. Just some cool stuff.
I actually have an idea that might be something we do. We might look for allies.
That might be a not bad idea. Also, don't forget you've got Fur in there, and if you come near, he's going to say, "Hey, you look pretty rough. I'm feeling great. Let me out and give me a portion of the profits, and I'm your guy." But I don't know if you do trust him. But he'll make that offer.
Part of me wants to trust him because that's built into clones. I think that they have this instinct of brotherhood where they want to trust each other in a way. So Quake would suggest that we do that because we need a guy. But I don't know what Johanna thinks.
Hannah will trust Quake's judgment.
Nice. And Fur will he comes out, kind of rubs his wrists, and when you release him from binders, and he'll immediately head to the galley to get some food. And what about any of the Achani?
I don't know what.
Oh no, they stay where they are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fair enough. Just wanted to ask because they would ask. They would offer what, especially one shot Zach. He'd be like, "What? You're gonna?" He'll make a big fuss. But Rothmon Evon is whatever about it. But the captain, she of course is like, come on, I've worked with you. But you guys deny her, but she's insistent, not upset like One Shot, but she'll be kind of insistent, like, you guys are missing out on an opportunity. I am just a merc. It was just a job. You hire for me this. It's just a job. I'll do the work. But yeah, probably don't trust her. So before you guys arrive in the Daymar system, Quake, you have a dream. In your dream, you are visited by a Togruta. And she does not have the lovely red complexion that you remember in life, because her skin is somewhat transparent. She is what you may have heard in old Jedi legends, a Force ghost, it seems. And she says, Quake, I worry for you. You have come so far. You have grown past anything that I ever hoped for you. But this Daymar system, I see death there. There is a dark force. Hold to that girl.
Well, if I can defeat a dark force and do it by dying, that I wouldn't mind that. I'm old. I'm far too old for a clone. Should do something meaningful with my death, I guess. Don't you think?
If so, I will see you in the Force. Be careful. I think that there are other things you could do besides dying.
Oh, well. Wish I had died far earlier.
You're where you're meant to be. She disappears. So you guys land in the Daymar system at the LMC station. You know that the LMC station, that there is among the many products from the gases. You find out from Squaz, because this is information he would know, that there is a particular type of spice, a side product during the refining process called carcinum, which is a type of spice that's dealt out of here, and the Black Sun is heavily involved in that. They control that trade. So there is a large industrial refinery that's going on, but then there's this side job with some of the byproducts that are made into a drug that affect a lot of different sentient beings. You guys land on the LMC station. It is a gigantic industrial station. It's not as beautiful as Cloud City. It floats in orbit. You guys are able to dock without any real issue whatsoever. Do you identify yourselves as bounty hunters, or just what is the reason that you give for docking with LMC station?
Oh, I absolutely will have talked about that dream to Johanna,
Okay.
and her probably, that I had that dream that there was a dark force on Daymar, and the fact that whatever his name is, the Trandoshan, as a Force user, well, doesn't bode very well for us.
Well, it was just a dream, right? So probably not just anxiety, or
I don't know. I mean, that guy had something. He could use the Force, and I don't know. I don't usually pay much attention to my dreams, but that one felt different.
Well, we were planning on being careful anyway. It doesn't change anything.
That's true. But I'm just saying, if things go to the worst, maybe don't try to save me.
What?
So if there's really a dark force, not like a bad person, but something that's legitimately evil, I'd be happy to die to kill it.
I've left too many people behind before. Don't ask me to do that, please.
I'm old, Clones aren't supposed to get up as old as I am. If I can do something here, I'd really love it if I knew you were safe.
Let's just see how things go. Don't plan for that just yet.
Okay. I guess you're right.
There's so few of you left. It's a shame.
One day there will be none. Pretty soon, I guess.
Well, let's make sure it doesn't have to be today.
Okay, I like that plan.
You guys land and disembark, the three of you, 2 clone troopers, and Johanna. I think that Fur, just because he thinks it's weird, he's going to wear a helmet, because otherwise you guys look like twins, because you are. And he's going to wear the stormtrooper armor you had before, but he'll modify it, just kind of wear the breastplate part. And he's got a large blaster rifle that was the one he wielded before when you confiscated it. You guys land at LMC Station. If you wish, you can either kind of talk around and do that normal investigation. You can try to find a terminal and plug in the microchip details for your quarry, or you could do whatever you want. What would you guys like to do once you come here on the station? It's a space station, so kind of imagine it's a little Babylon 5 to the look. So you got wide hallways that are a little on the squarish side, a lot of things in a lot of information in BASIC and ALBEC, a lot of sigils there. It's you're in mid-rim, so you'd say the population is about 50% human, but a lot of other different species who are here. And it's an industrial place. There's not a whole lot of security here. You don't see stormtroopers at all. The Imperial presence is nil, other than a few offices. There is a bounty hunter office here, but it's a minor perfunctory thing. It's like, if you've ever been, this is stupid for me to make this comparison because it's an American thing, but like, instead of it just being a gas station, is a gas station that has like 3 little restaurants in it. That's kind of what the bounty hunter office is. It's like, it's just a little station. It's so anyway, what would you guys like to do now that you're on station?
I'm just gonna do, sort of hit the street sort of thing. Just ask,
okay.
Start asking around and try and find leads.
Okay, cool. Then why don't you investigate a mystery? You'll be rolling with sharp. You got A2 in that, so
10.
All right, on a 10 plus with investigative mystery, you get 2 questions.
Okay. Basic moves. Where did it go?
Oof, good question. So, questioning around about a Trandoshan does reveal some information. People are a little scared to talk about it, but you're able to maybe spread a few credits around to find out that a Trandoshan, as well as a Twi'lek female and a few other members of the Trandoshan's little crew, disembarked several hours ago, and they took a room 1138, and that was where they have seen all of them go. They were that crew. They were escorting a human female with reddish hair, who does match the description of Karna Freely.
I'm trying to think what's a good second question from that list.
Mm-hmm.
What is being concealed here?
The reason you're able to get this information is anyone that looks like they're a station employee is afraid to talk about the Trandoshan. He came here because the Black Sun have a lot of eyes and a lot of power. So what's been concealed here is that Black Sun, while the LMC Corporation owns this place in name, it is in name only. And any heavy move you make on room 1138 to try to take this human female is going to be met with force. Like, let's just say, other than the fact that this Trandoshan is known enough for people to know not to talk, he hasn't, now that once that he's here on this station, he didn't really go out of his way to hide what's going on.
I want to I don't know if this is investigative mystery, probably. I think this is not an Imperial station, so the chances are that there might be some rebels here. And if we can find them, we might convince them that Dark Force users are bad, and that helping the Ombudsman against the trade union would actually be beneficial to the effort against the Empire.
Ooh, that's super interesting. I'm trying to think of a way to...
I think I might do that with investigative mystery, because where the rebellion is a mystery at that point, right?
Okay, that works for me. Let's do it.
Okay, so I have to look at my sharp. I'm sharp. Wow. Quake. Oh, good thing that I'm sharp. It's a 7.
All right, you get one question.
That's
one hole.
Okay. Well, I think, yeah. Where did it go seems to be.
Yeah, where did it go? Where's the rebellion presence here?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Cool. Yeah, so what you find is that there's a crew of smugglers who are here, who are running some of the illicit stuff. Like they're shaving off a bit of the spice, and they're dealing in spice to raise funds for the Alliance to Restore the Republic.
Cool. Okay. So I will go and tell Johanna that I might have a lead on some guys from the rebellion. They might be convinced to help us.
Well, hopefully. I mean, the rebels are a big organization. Hopefully, none of them recognize me.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Hopefully, none of them recognize me.
Well, you might borrow first helmet. I'm sorry.
I think Johanna has like if we look at the picture, it's like it's got a hood on it, and there's probably like a mask that she can put on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Oh. Let's go talk to them.
Okay.
All right. So you guys end up getting onto a tramp freighter that is surprisingly well armed. As a hard case, Quake, you are able to recognize that this ship's been retrofitted to be a little bit of a gunship, but they do their best to kind of hide things. There is a human who is the pilot. His name is Bryn Seelig, and then there is a Bothan, who's the person who kind of chats you up, named Rask Surin. I'll drop that name in. And Rask says, "So you're looking for somebody to smuggle you out of here?" The Bothan asks. Head kind of shakes a little bit as it studies you.
Not exactly. I think we might have a mutual acquaintance. I seem to remember that Quake and his Jedi were a bit involved with the rebellion, at least, after the thing we did with that moon.
Yeah, I think so.
So I guess I'll just name drop some rebellion leader that I know.
All right. So Rask straightens and says, "Oh, okay. What's happening here?"
Yeah, there's an ombudsman. He's a particularly idealistic guy, but he is resisting the trade union's demands, and now he's being blackmailed. And his daughter is on a station, and that's how they're blackmailing him. And we try to get his daughter out, but it's been a rough ride for the last few days, and we might need some support.
So he rubs along his snout there as he thinks about it, and he says, "Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's this Trandoshan. I'm usually not that bad with names, but Star Wars names always escape me. Pandit Mork. That's the Trandoshan.
Oh, that guy's an enforcer for the Black Sun. You don't want to mess with him.
Yeah, we do. He's the one who took the girl.
Okay. Well, you share the information that's in the room, and he kind of pulls over a little hollow and draws up the floor plans of the place. He says, "Well, I mean, everybody's got to breathe. Maybe you just gas them."
Sounds fine, I guess.
I've got a few here on my crew that can back you up.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, gas him, take the girl, get out. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So then he sends MR-34, his little rolling droid, and and Throxon, a Trandoshan, will come from his crew to back you guys up, and Rask and Bryn, the pilot, they'll be ready to kind of give support. But he says, "I really don't want to we're raising some good money for the rebellion, so if we can do this without us being fingered, that would be my preference, but whatever you need, I'm not going to let you guys die for this."
Okay, thanks, I guess. It's about rescuing the girl and that Trandoshan. I think there is something very evil in him, like Darth Vader. Not maybe Darth Vader level evil, but that kind of evil.
I think Throxon, the Trandoshan, says, "Pandit Mork is evil. We will rip his throat out." So, shall we do another make a plan? It sounds like we've made a plan, and it's violence.
Can we do that in 5 minutes?
Otherwise, you don't get to see what happens at the end of this, and true. So let's. It's about taking violent, dangerous, and destructive action. I think. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, and I think it's fair that Sabine rolls, since this is probably Quake's plan.
Yep. The plan supported by plenty of resources and people because you went and got some rebel backup. You're basing the plan on accurate current information because you worked with the Bothan schemer to work out a plan. I don't see significant opposition that would interfere with the plan's execution. It's just going to be a significant reaction if things don't go well. And nobody has any dissent, so go ahead and roll tough +2. Roll snake eyes. No. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. All right, so you arrive in the middle of your plan in decent shape. So I think MR, the droid buddy that you have, MR34, rolls through the ducts above and drops down some gas canisters. And you guys are able to slice your way through the door key and burst in. You see that there's a Weequay and a couple of human guards and a Twi'lek female that are all in the midst of coughing and passing out. And lying on the bed in a comatose state is a red-headed female human. The Trandoshan is not present. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab the girl and try and get right.
All right, Quake, are you gonna blast or any of these people, or just leave them be?
No, I don't blast unconscious people as a rule.
All right, cool. You see Fur is about to? What do you do?
What?
You see Fur is about to.
I will stop him. I will tell him, hey, that's not what the Jedi taught us.
You also see Joanna thinking about it, but then she knows that Quake doesn't like that sort of thing, so it's like.
I think it's a moment when Fur and Johanna kind of meet eyes, like we should really make sure, but then Quake, you convince them not to, and you guys back out. So we will, just because of time, because I think this is kind of interesting to set up future threats, you guys, amid a hail of blaster fire, will make your way back to the Viridian Hornet and get on board, and Squaz takes off, and you have your quarry, this unconscious female. You check the microchip. It is her. And
I think Quake might stay behind, actually, because I have to go get him out anyway, and there are rebels here, and there is still this evil Trandoshan fellow, and maybe he wants to see if he can have a piece of that.
Oh man! So yeah, we'll edit a little bit of you're about to head into the ship, and then the Pandit Morg shows up, and you and the other Trandoshan who talked about throating him, Throxon, you guys stay back, and Johanna, you take the quarry with Squaz, and you guys take off from LMC station, leaving Quake behind. Johanna, what's the last thing we see from you as you see that Quake is determined to stay behind and fight this evil Trandoshan?
Not today. Remember, not today.
Nice. Cool. And unfortunately, this will be the point where we stop our game. But that was a really cool end for Quake. And we're not guaranteed that he's dead. Maybe he'll survive. We don't even know. I'm excited about that. This has been super fun. I hope you guys had a good time. I would love to do Roses and Thorns if we can do it over Slack as you guys have time. I would really love to hear those thoughts because I've tried to I've given a lot of thought, and I tried to engage stuff other than act under pressure because that's what we did in first session. So any thoughts you have along those lines, I'd love it. Thank you so much for playing, Sabine. Enjoy your time away from Star Wars. I hope that we will see you again, and Rob, we'll see you next week.
You'll see me with the Night Witches, at least in the first session, and I'm looking forward to that. And have fun with these bounty hunter people. And yeah, it was fun.
Awesome.
I had a lot of fun.
Cool. See you guys later. Thank you so much for playing.
See you later.
Bye-bye.